guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can see behind me, we have very nice classic VW. I will bring the owner in though, let him introduce himself, because this is something very, very cool. It is a two owner, so the owner now is one owner before that, and he bought it as his first car, which is so cool. It's such a cool story. So I'd like to bring you in, mate, if I can, in front of your car, and would you like to introduce yourself? Hello
everyone, this is my Mark 1 Caddy pickup truck. So yeah, I've owned it since 2015. Like Jamie said, it was a one owner vehicle.
And the guy's now what, 70 years old now, did you say?
Yeah, he's mid-70s now, so he bought it brand new in 1990, so he lived up in Worcester. And yeah, he just used it as his commercial vehicle, so he said he had wood in the back, sheep in the back. He used to take it around
sheep in the back.
Markets, yeah. It was just literally his car to get to A to B.
Yeah, so what I'm going to ask now is, it's a pretty random car to have as your first car, in my opinion. So what made you go for one of these?
So I've always been into my Volkswagens. I think one night on eBay, as you do, was looking at what's kind of for sale, and this was on bids.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really fetching strong money, and back then, because it was kind of original and didn't really have much going for it, it was going quite cheap, and it was a Sunday night, so we chucked a bid in. We won it.
Accidentally, yeah, all right, that's happened.
Like, okay, because I was only 16 at the time.
Oh wow!
So I wasn't even driving at the time. I was like, right, Dad, we better go get this. So yeah, so when we collected it, it was he pushed it out of his kind of area by his farm, and yeah, we trundled home in it.
Yeah.
Somehow made it home, because when we looked over it in the daylight home, it had tyres that had sort of cords that were a bit rusty, and it sat for a while, but it had an MOT, run drove, and yeah, then we spent the time after that just modifying it in a tasteful way. We tried to keep it sort of GTI-esque, kind of OEM plus, and kind of keep its originality where it matters. So it's still got its original 1.6 diesel with a 4+E gearbox, which was an option, and everything done to it has kind of been done sort of with respect to the car. So I didn't want to hack the arches out of it, put flares on it, put silly big wheels on it that have got to ruin it, rip the engine out unnecessarily, because it still runs, drives fine, and yeah, it's just been a pleasure to own, really.
Yeah, bloody right. So we will go round the car and show you everything we need to, because there's a lot of people out there probably watching the channel that are into these cars, so just picking out the little bits and bobs. We'll start at the front end though, because GTI grille?
So it has its original grille, but Volkswagen Heritage sort of the surround trim, so that was done in red.
Oh, which is this bit here?
Yeah, so that's the red. So it's got a genuine GTD badge. We got that from Germany. So the idea of the GTD, it hasn't got a GTD engine, but it was more all of the sort of trims and essence of a GTR on it. Yeah. So the D is obviously for the diesel. Just polished up the original sort of silver badge, so that was quite nice. It's got the original Hella headlamps. Kind of got smoked indicators on the front, just to kind of, because I thought it was quite nice being black on black with the surrounding bumper. GTI front splitter, which had to have been reinforced, which is what you can see there.
Just nice and low there. Yes, very low.
I think that's the fourth one it's had. So
wow.
Snapping off at the slightest inconvenience.
That is sort of the first thing that's going to hit the floor, let's be honest. Talking about how low it is to the floor, coilovers on the front, flipped axle at the back.
So it's got coilovers on the front, flipped axle on the back. That was from Retrofication, so that was Al, who's the head of the Caddy forum. So it's flipped axle on the back, 2-inch block, been poly bushed as well. Got OMP strut braces, top and bottom on the front. GTI front brakes, so they're the standard Caddy size, but they're just vented. Aid on that. Original G60 steel wheels, so I do have a banded set.
I did see the banded set when you sent me some
which
bits,
I do quite like, but I've been having troubles getting them to fit, especially on the rear. So we've come down to the Isle of Wight to see Jamie.
Yeah.
And we're also doing the Caddy Campers tour, so the back of it's full up of camping gear. And
so this is the bit that I'm now going to move on to. We'll get into the interior in a minute. Yeah. This is so cool. So I'm assuming this is a factory option?
Owner told me is the dealer would put you in contact. So this is a genuine Truckman topper. So this was like the best one they did. So it's got the ladder racks here and the sort of strips here which you can lay a ladder on and tie it down. Also got an original tonneau cover, which is a dealer option, so you can see all of the sort of plastic down the side.
Yeah, cool. I love this though. I followed it here, and seeing it from this point, you don't see any caddies with these. Well, I don't. and that's so cool. It's so different in a sense.
The beauty of it, it's only 4 bolts to remove, so it probably takes 5 minutes to disconnect and then 2 people just to lift off.
Yeah, nice.
Steel tailgate.
Yeah,
it's not too bad. It's a bit awkward to store, but other than that, it's quite nice.
It's all right.
Nice to have.
I like that you've got curtains and stuff in the back of it.
Sort of 80 sort of Caddy flash sort of sticker there, and around here as well. So because it's quite low, we wanted to fit a sort of stainless exhaust, but we didn't want any sort of boxes on it, because what I had on the original exhaust is that they were the lowest point, so getting onto my drive I would always scrape it, and effectively the bottom of the exhaust was flat. So we've got a 2-inch stainless straight through exhaust and a motorcycle silencer just to take the worst off it, because it was exceptionally loud.
A bit loud.
Genuine Mark 1 rear mud flaps on the back as well. You sort of tie in a sort of pickup theme. Stainless steel rear bumpers as well. So they would have usually
come out sort of here, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Put some sort of grommets in where the holes used to be, just on the back. Still got its original tailgate as well. That's never been painted.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's something that would be absolutely destroyed on most of these, because they were used as commercial vehicles. Yeah. That's the first thing that goes, as well as the bed. I also will point out, as we're here, number plate VW fan, obviously spaced for legality in the UK.
Yeah,
we like that.
I do have a show plate for it, which obviously I've never used.
No, not on the road anyway.
Another option which I quite like, so this is a genuine diesel badge from the American version of the Mark 1 Caddy,
cool.
which is called the Rabbit pickup.
We're right nerding out now, aren't we, about VW stuff.
That took me
genuine badges.
6 months to find in the US, and then having to ask the seller politely, could you post that to me and I'll send you the difference.
I'm in the UK.
Eventually found one. But yeah, because I quite liked it. It sort of tied in the theme, sort of black, chrome and red, 1990 GB badge that I made.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
I love the back end. That's probably my favourite part of it, because I don't see many with the cover and with the sort of bumpers and stuff sat. So for me, that is that's such a cool part. We will come down though and show you the inside, because the inside's so lovely. Because you like your VWs, of course, a bit of tweed inside.
Yes.
Look at these.
So they're out of a Mark II Golf G60 Rally, I believe. So they're genuine Recaro LSB, I believe their code is. So they've got genuine Harris tweed cloth. They've all been retrimmed. I believe it's all original or replaced foam, because none of them are sort of sagging or lost. And yeah, I picked them up for quite a nice deal, and my last name being Harris, it kind of fitted the bill, which is nice.
I must admit, the tweed with the wooden steering wheel and the Nardi steering wheel, it fits so lovely.
So my mum, bless her, she sewed up the gear gauge as well, and some leftover Harris tweed trim. I got hold of a Mark 1 golf ball gear knob, but it had to say 4+E, because that's the standard one for this car. Yeah. And all original bits that I've taken off it have actually been kept, so none of it's been sort of thrown away or lost.
So you could put this back to factory if you want it, although it is a really nice OEM modified car or pickup truck.
I know what's been done, but if it was to be parked somewhere, it doesn't necessarily scream that I've been modified. No. And I kind of quite like that look. I didn't want it to be sort of lime green with sort of decals and looking a bit
and
some
crazy silly engine in it.
I quite like it just sort of tastefully done.
I like it. So what we'll do next is we'll take it on the road and see what it's like this low with that exhaust and chat more about it, because
I'll just
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right, jumping in. First thing I'm going to say, I got you to pull this out of the car park because it's quite low, and I don't want to scratch underneath of your lovely car. The other thing was seats. I am like gobsmacked how nice these seats are. So comfortable.
They do make the vehicle, especially being so solid. Yeah, it's nice to have an extra bit of comfort.
Very solid in it. But that's mainly for tyre width, and you can get away with tyre width and stuff, I suppose. You know, scrubbing and stuff, which is quite nice. Although you don't mind.
For me, it's more of the look. Yeah, so having it that a few inches lower rather than having it a bit up high and drivable. Yeah. Because I don't really need to drive it all the time. No. So I'd rather put up with the bouncier ride.
Yeah. But we're on a nice road at the moment, so you're not really going to notice that, which is quite good.
It's fun.
Yeah. Fun is key here. Fun is key. The 5-speed as well, we were just chatting about, you said it's like so much better than obviously a 4-speed. It's not screaming its head off all the time. We have like the nicest thing though, which is the steering wheel, and the layout of the cabin in this is It's so old school. You got a clock where the rev gauge is, although you have got a rev gauge this side.
That's it, yeah. Which is stuck in, yeah.
It's just like so nice. It's all so lovely, isn't it? The Porsche badge on the glove box as well. We like that. That's cool. Because a lot of people do put Porsche stuff on these, like door handles and various bits.
That was from a 924, I believe.
Oh really?
Yeah. So they had a lot of Mark 1 bits on it, I believe.
Getting overtaken by someone that's interested in going somewhere else faster. It's because they're not enjoying their car, and that's the big thing about classic stuff is we're actually doing like 50 in a 60 at the moment, and mate, you're still going past us.
Yeah. And even then, that's probably overestimating, shall we say.
I'm going to say we're probably, you know, it might be a few mile an hour out, but that's not a problem, is it? I must admit, I love the sound of this thing. Again, I've driven behind you on the way here. It sounds so good. Yeah, it sounds petrol though, I will say, and I've said this already, like, it sounds petrol, but it's a diesel non-turbo. So whatever you've done, you know, with the exhaust and the modifying of that motorbike can and stuff in there is
it was only like a cheap sort of insert you put in the end of the exhaust. I think they mainly sell it for like MOT or like track days.
Oh yeah, like a bung sort of thing.
You can sort of put it in the end, and it takes the edge off. Because when it was totally straight pipe, it was like your ears are bleeding.
Too much, yeah.
And it was like, this is not good.
It does drive absolutely lovely. This, like, it's never done a day's work in its life, which is really cool. Like, it's done, what is it, 145,000 miles?
Yeah, genuine miles.
That is like, it's had a life. It's done stuff, you know. You said you got pictures of it with stuff in the back, and the owner said he's actually done stuff with it.
Before I owned it, it was the guy's work vehicle, and it was, well, let's go to the shops, let's go to work. It wasn't like, let's keep it in the dry or put it in a garage. It was. That's
what these were used for. That was the whole idea, wasn't it? It's a commercial vehicle that a lot of people would use. Let's turn this up a lot.
Not too bad. Yeah, let's see.
Oh yeah, she's fine. Maybe. Oh no, she's not. Right. Push down and over. There it is.
That's the one.
No power steering.
Oh no.
Nah, we don't have that in here, mate. Don't worry about that.
It's a real car. What are you talking about?
That's it. Real men drive cars with no power steering in them. It is a lovely place in here, I must admit. It's so nice.
You feel like you're having such an experience. You look down, you're doing 45.
Yeah, literally.
You're holding people up. Yeah.
Get out the way now. Get out the way. Like, nah, just chilling. Don't worry about it.
So I never really had the radio on, to be fair.
I'd listen to that if it was me, mate. I like it. See, we're doing like, it says 50, but it's not, is it? Like, it's doing some speed and it feels so good, But this is the thing, like, people are so taken away from how a car feels to drive at such a low amount of speed that sometimes it's so refreshing to get in something that's, it's a little bit slower, but you're enjoying that rather than, oh, how fast can it be, and, you know, all that. This feels like so nice to cruise around in.
But it's more of the sum of its parts. It's the wind in your hair, it's the sunshine, it's the noise, and you're still having fun. You haven't got to be screaming down the road, risking your life. And
I like it, mate.
It's innocent. It just does what it needs to do. Yeah.
Also, having this as your first car, it's quite nice to ground yourself in a car like this. If you'd bought like an S3 as your first car, that's so far away from
levels of what